Perfect weather, 80 degrees, sunshine, slight breeze here in San Antonio, Texas, as all eyes in the USL Championship are set on Toyota Field for this final matchup to close out Week 4 of the season. Lexington SC in town to take on San Antonio FC. San Antonio currently second in the West, 7 points to the ledger, 2-0-1 for Lexington SC in just their second season at this championship level. They are 1-1-1 on the season. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy Sunday to you, Tyler Denning, Katie Goodman. Katie, this is still a young season. We're closing out week number 4. Teams trying to find their identities.
Yeah, and both teams going to have to rely on their depth quite a bit in this game. We've got, 5 games in 17 days because of the U.S. Open Cup for a lot of these teams. So you're going to see them relying on a lot of depth. When you look at that identity, if it can show through from the bench, then that's how you know these coaches are doing a really great job. San Antonio FC with some incredible work up top, creativity, and a really strong back line per usual.
Yeah, if you've watched San Antonio over the years, you know Jorge Hernandez, so pivotal to their success. Already 2-time USL Team of the Week member.
Yeah, assists keen year after year, but he had an assist there from Danny Barber. He was able to put it in off a set piece. Danny Barber got on the end of it, sealed the deal there with a header, and of course Jorge with a goal under his belt as well. Just a really great combination there, getting Danny Barber up in the attack. He's got that height and that stature, able to do what he's got to do on both sides of the field.
And these two tasked with trying to get the ball past this man, Oliver Semle, who is off to a great start on his season.
Yeah, 2 clean sheets so far. 1 of 4 keepers here in the USL Championship who's been able to do that. 7 saves, working with a 77.8% save percentage, and signed earlier this month here with Lexington.
So a busy 2 weeks coming up for these two teams with USL play, US Open Cup play as well. A pivotal 3 points at stake to close out week number 4 of the USL Championship season. We will give you starting lineups, Lexington SC, San Antonio FC, when we come back to Toyota Field.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Wow. Awesome. Cool.
Sweet. Nice. Hey! I like your dress.
You look pretty.
No, you look pretty.
No, you look pretty.
No, you...
During the Ready, Set, Go sales event, qualified lessees can lease a rugged new 2026 Tundra SR5 for $549 a month for 36 months. Offer ends March 31st.
Go from dreaming it to driving it today.
Toyota. Let's go places.
When you donate or shop at Goodwill, you'll help train future nurses' aides through our local career training programs. Good job, everyone.
$10 for a large, $10 for any 3 toppings, $10 for your choice of hot crust. Like our new garlic parm hand tossed. Because there's crust, and then there's hut crust. The crust you crave, only $10. Order in the Pizza Hut app.
A cleaned up mess will cost you less, 'cause HEB has price cuts. And baby poo, that costs less too, 'cause HEB has price cuts. You'll save lots more doing all those chores with HEB's new price cuts.
HEB has cut thousands of prices on the things you use most, from household essentials to cleaning products. So look for the tags and save.
No store does more for Texas.
Good morning, San Antonio.
Hey, there he is.
The Spurs pulled off an exciting win last night.
Good morning. Where's my high five at?
You good?
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah. Okay.
The USL on CBS is presented by Best Western Hotels and Resorts, the official hotel partner of the United Soccer League. Toyota Field, it is Kids Day as we take a look at starting lineup, starting with Lexington SC, presented by Rico's. Katie, coming out in a 4-3-3. 3-3. Who's to watch for?
Oh, Philip Goodrum. He's been a thorn in San Antonio FC's side for a long, long time. Had 13 goals there with Blue City, 18 goals with FC Tulsa, and 23 and 24. And so he's just a name that everybody knows here in the USL Championship.
Their leader in goals, Aaron Malloy, number 6. He has 2 on the season for Masaki Hemi, their head coach. In San Antonio, we were talking when we saw the lineups come out. A little bit of a change-up. You had made mention a busy slate coming up for both these teams, San Antonio included, so rotating in some different names than expected.
Right, they've got a U.S. Open match coming up on April 4th with FC Tulsa, and so they've leaned on their bench a little bit. They got Thiago Suarez there in the center back role, Nelson Flores Blanco back on the left side, Kurt Koliv on the right, and E.J. Johnson and Christian Sordo up top, which is changing things up with considering it's usually the Patino-Perano kind of duo up there, but still same 4-4-2 shape.
So closing out week number 4, lone match to the contest at the USL Championship level here today. With San Antonio sitting at 7 points, Lexington SC sitting at 4, 8th in the Western Conference. It's Kids Day, as mentioned, here at Toyota Field, so a good turnout. Beautiful weather, not too hot yet, 80 degrees, slight breeze. For this just the 3rd meeting between the two teams. Lexington in the black. Numbers, names in green. San Antonio in white. Underway. Lexington begins with the ball. Stylistically, Katie, what type of match does Lexington want to play, and what does San Antonio want to counter with?
Well, we've seen in previous matches quite a direct style of play, but of course, when it comes to San Antonio FC, they're such a physical team. They've got a lot of height in the back. Direct style of play may not work for them here, so you can expect them to try to do a little bit more tiki-taka style of play, try to possess and find in ways in behind, but most of their shots coming from distance, so San Antonio FC, they're just going to have to be aware that this is a team that wants to take shots from really far out wide, and you know, also winning that first and second ball for San Antonio is what is going to be proven more of a success here for them.
San Antonio, pretty good goalkeeper as well, huh?
Yes, Joey Bracciuni, San Antonio native, actually. Incredible work there on the back line. Nominated for Save of the Week last week. Did a really good job just keeping San Antonio in it.
Petruni in the orange. His counterpart, Semle. In an almost pewter, would you say? Gold-ish?
Yeah.
Top. San Antonio will set.
Almost blends in with the brown grass there at the front of the
well trotted.
goal. Yes.
This is the aforementioned in the open, Jorge Hernandez. He the assist master here in San Antonio. Will serve it in with the left foot. Chipped up. Headed down, back towards Hernandez.
When you talk a lot about this team's identity, San Antonio, it's always going to be a smothering vibe no matter who's out there on the field. They do really well moving as a unit. As you can see, they're all really connected there, and what a great switch.
Headed forward by Jorge Hernandez, but then sent out of bounds. San Antonio coming off a 1-0 victory last week against New Mexico United. They had 20 shots, 9 of those on goal. It was phenomenal work by Chris Shakes. He had 8 saves of New Mexico, but that Barbier goal in the 74th minute that led to him being named to USL Team of the Week along with Jorge Hernandez after they began the season with a 2-1 victory against Phoenix Rising and a 0-0 draw against FC Tulsa. That gives them their 7-point total. Last week for Lexington, it was a 3-0 victory over Brooklyn FC, their largest margin of victory in USL Championship play. Hernandez working. A lot of black shirts in front of him trying to figure it out. Chipped up in the air. Bounces to the other side for Sordo. His team resets. Long shot, that had a chance. The effort from Senley, he tracked it, he found it. The ball struck well. Good offense, better defense.
Incredible look there from Mitch Tainer, just having the foresight to get his head up and drive it, keeping that ball down with a ton of power, as you can see there, just grazed the post. Mitch actually is now top 5 in the league history for regular season minutes, 22,248 career minutes as of the last matchup. And
that thing, of course, was roasted.
A history here leader in San Antonio, but yeah, lots of pace on the end of that ball.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. It looked like caught some English and moved in the air. Simley didn't have to play it, but you made mention, Katie, glanced off the crossbar. We were here last week. We watched San Antonio. It was an offensive onslaught that they began the game with. Didn't have anything to show goal scoring wise, though.
Yes, when you look at that FC Tulsa game that they had played, it just wasn't the prettiest of soccer. But when they came out against New Mexico, they really cleaned things up, really looked dominant in that first half. But Coach Carlos Jamosa, he said, hey, it's great to play pretty soccer and to look really good that way, but we have got to make the most of those opportunities. 9 shots on goal. You've got to get more than one of those going in there with that. So still some room to grow here for San Antonio.
Yeah, as mentioned, coming off their best match ever at the USL Championship level for Lexington. That 3-0 victory was Malloy that scored his second. Then Blaine Fair, Malik Henry Scott was coming in the 85th and 92nd minutes, respectively. They began their season week 1, 2-1 loss against Louisville City FC. Then week 2, a 0-0 draw against Sacramento Republic. This their first road match of the season.
Talk about that loss against Louisville City. Great shot there from Malloy. Player to watch here for you, Tyler, but just really powerhouse shot there from a super long distance, almost to the center circle. Just great stuff.
Keep an eye on number 6 in the black top. And the leading goal scorer. Lexington exploded offensively in their U.S. Open Cup first round victory. A 9-0 win over Flower City Union. Both teams working the sides, trying to serve in. Ball ricochets out of bounds off the defender, Santiago Suarez. There's Malloy. From Dublin, Ireland. Played for the Charleston Battery, Memphis 901 FC. Drafted by the Portland Timbers of the MLS. Ball, good chance. Fighting to keep it alive.
It's a good scramble and hustle there from San Antonio to clear that one out, but when you look at the performance they had against New Mexico, it just doesn't quite feel the same. It makes you wonder, is it because it's a 3 p.m. game, or is it just that they're starting to get a reputation here as being a really strong team, and people just tend to bring their best here against San Antonio, but that is quite the close, tricky call there, trying to build out of pressure.
That tip back to Nelson Flores. Turned over in Lexington. Founded in 2021, USL League One expansion side. The 3 years they've been in existence, Katie, they finished ninth, and then last year, their first year at the USL Championship level. Any guess as to what they finished? Ninth,
yes.
Just a point out of the playoff picture.
9 must be the magic number, but I'm sure that's not what they're going for this season. taking another look at that chip in. This is exactly where Philip Goodwin wants to be, is just over behind that back line. Lots of speed there from him, loves to run in on it.
Forward from Charlotte, North Carolina. Goodwin. Sordo on the ground, just trickling towards the right post of Semle.
The intention for Sordo was really good here, just getting into an open spot. A little bit of a miss hit there on that finish, just trying to overcorrect around the defender. But we've seen a goal happen like this against Lexington before. Sometimes their defenders tend to get overloaded on one side of the field, leaves that backside open. So Christian Sordo almost taking advantage of that there.
Katie, you made mention earlier, want to go back to it for players. Heard so much routine-based. These players traditionally used to playing Saturday, especially here at home. Toyota Field for San Antonio, Saturday night, 7 p.m. Does it disturb your rhythm, and can it throw you off to play a different game, different time?
Yeah, I think definitely. I mean, you get so used to the way things work, and especially if it's a little bit toasty. It's a beautiful day out there, but when you're running full speed, 100 miles per hour, it can get a little toasty, right? So still probably trying to work on their summertime fitness as we move into summer. But at the end of the day, you're playing professional soccer. You cannot allow that to be an excuse. Both teams are in the same situation. So it's really more of a better test of mental fitness.
Emmanuel Johnson on the attack for San Antonio that shouldered down Brown. Lexington wanted the call. No whistle.
E.J. Johnson, just a ton of hustle there up top. So it's like a brick wall as well. And sometimes you think of his type of player more on the defensive side, but he offers that up top as well as he begins to taunt the keeper here.
Head referee for the match, Brad Jensen. The assistants, Clarence Clark, William Bolson. The fourth, Edgar Garcia. Feels a little disjointed on the San Antonio side to begin.
Yeah, they're not looking like their usual self, at least not from that New Mexico game. But again, it's a couple different faces here in the lineup. It's not what we saw in that first New Mexico game. We've got some guys making their way back into the start with Nelson Flores and Reese Buckmaster there. You've also got Danny Barber playing in the outside back position. More of a center back role is what he's had lately. And so just interesting to see how things have changed here and how they're working just to adapt around this Lexington lineup.
The name missing, Alex Cronale, leading goal scorer for San Antonio. One of three players with the goal, but he leads them in shots as well. Flag is up with 5. Not on the injury report, so we made mention of what the calendar looks like upcoming. As you see, this who unavailable in the top left, but Cronale not one of those names. But that's a big piece that right now is currently sitting on the bench.
Right, and I think a big part of that is just resting legs before they move into that U.S. Open match against FC Tulsa. The last game that they played against FC Tulsa was just not pretty, and even Coach Jamosa said it himself. You know, it's a lot of kicking back and forth, not a ton of settling down. And when you look at this game here, we've got Lexington with a direct style of play. If San Antonio can settle and move the ball, dictate play, it can look really different.
Injury report from Methodist Healthcare. Methodist Healthcare proudly offering 8 neighborhood ERs across San Antonio. So we'll see how creative Carlos Llamosa, the head coach for San Antonio, wants to get with his personnel and bench today. The unit out there tries to figure it out. Chip down to deep right corner, trailing the ball as it goes back to Semle. Three back with 5 coming for Lexington.
Back side, back close, back cross,
flicked in, but chipped out.
San Antonio's back line is really hard to break through. Just so good at getting that first and second ball. They also have a ton of height and stature back there. And, you know, stature even on the bench. You know, Alex Cronali, big guy, but even Thiago Suarez, who is stepping in for him right now, too, all 6 feet or taller there in the back. It's just hard to break down, especially when you have a really direct style of play coming from Lexington. And they're doing a really good job of spreading the field. As you can see, they drop it all the way back to the keeper. Lots of green space here between players, doing a great job of expanding on the attack.
Challenge by Hernandez. That will draw a whistle as Brown down to the pitch. Looked initially like he may have forced the turnover, but the late whistle was for naught.
Yeah, definitely not much of the ball there gone for in that interaction. Also have his elbow pretty high up towards the face. That's going to get you booked every time. But, you know, he and EJ Johnson have really been going at it this entire time. So it's interesting to see the call there coming from Jorge.
This team's meeting for just the 3rd time, all time. First 2 last year in Lexington's inaugural USL Championship campaign. SAFC won 3-2 at Lexington, and then in San Antonio it was a 1-0 win for Lexington SC.
Both teams returning 15 players, so very similar lineups from last season. Of course, we mentioned San Antonio's injury list. Lucio Barone really caused a lot of havoc there in the middle of the field, and as you can see, Lexington is just doing a great job of dominating here in the middle, finding ways and seams in and out.
Barbier, the USL Team of the Week member, was so active in the win over New Mexico. Last man back keeps it in front of him. Johnson tips it out to Hernandez. Ball will have to cycle back to Barbier. Hernandez down to the pitch. That drew the whistle.
As you can see there, starting to get away from people, and just the hit is coming a little bit after the distribution.
There's Blaine Ferry on the challenge. "17 minutes in, Katie, what have you gathered?"
All right, I was holding my breath there to see how this was going to play out first. Lots of long distributions for sure.
Johnson working into the heart of the defense. A quartet of black jerseys there. This ball trying to find the far post where lingering was Nelson Flores, but Semle. Your pause, there hasn't been a ton of action.
Yeah,
thus far. It seems like, too, you know, if it's a fight, a lot of jabs.
Yeah, pretty even when it comes to both fouls and possession, I would say, here tonight. And, excuse me, this afternoon. I'm so used to saying tonight because most of the games are in the evening. So
the announcers, it's the same way. Mitch Tainer was the one charged with the push through the back. Give me your keys to the match.
Yeah, so when we look at San Antonio FC, something they've done really well so far is just winning that first and second ball with Lexington. They've taken advantage of that second ball multiple times. So San Antonio doing a good job of just locking down on that second ball and then watching for shots from distance. As mentioned, Malloy has taken shots almost at the center circle. When you look at all the goals that Lexington has scored, it has been outside the box or towards the top of the 18. But for Lexington, if they can start defending a little bit higher up the field, I think that's going to help them out there. I mean, they're trying to create some space and get in behind, but if they defend a little bit higher up, I think they can move up with a little bit more tact there. And then, of course, just staying compact, which is something they're doing really well. And I think that's something that teams expect when going up against San Antonio FC. They know it's going to be physical. There's going to be a lot of switching, a lot of movement. Staying compact can kind of help mitigate a lot of that.
The brightest spot of the match, a shot from far, but it was Mitch Tainer that struck the crossbar. 2 shots for San Antonio, 1 for Lexington. Possession 51.4% in favor of the home squad, so about even. As we approach the 20-minute mark, ball was giving Lexington a chance, sprinting forward. Barbier.
Again, this is the ball that Philip Goodrum wants. He thinks he's in the clear there, but it's a really clean and beautiful tackle from Danny Barber that just puts that right to an end.
Truney will organize and send it out. Right onto the head of Varian, out of bounds. San Antonio with a throw in. Flores assessing. Out to the middle, some space to work. Suarez leaving, going towards the end line. Rescued back into play, outside of the box. Dancing as the ball goes back to Barbier. Sordo off the head, he has a teammate there. Coming into the box. Fans thought they saw contact. That's what brought them to their feet. As the counter the other way for Lexington. And dispossessed on the run. Both teams.
It's a great hustle back there for Thiago Suarez, but I think you heard it from the crowd. It was looking like a handball there in the box in that last challenge. Something that really could have changed the game here for San Antonio.
Gordo, the nice pass on the pitch, forward, inside, push down. No whistle, no foul. Jorge Hernandez was the one sent to the ground, so back-to-back sequences inside the box that draw the ire of the home crowd. Did the players have a case for a foul on either play?
You know, I think with that handball a couple plays ago, yes. I think with that foul on Jorge, not so much.
Here's Jorge again. He had 2 teammates there. It was Johnson, the second one, rushing to try to get back to it. Life coming into the San Antonio side.
They have got this stadium in an uproar right now.
Lexington trying to find their way through the back line. Far post, cutting off the attack. Let's look at those 2 plays. The first, the potential handball that...
Yeah, as you can see there, it comes down under his elbow. I don't think he can see the ball bouncing up off the ground, though, so maybe... And, of course, the ref is not really in a position to call it either. And here's the push. And while there were some arms up and over the shoulders, it looked like a little bit more of a fall than it did a push. Maybe trying to sell it a little too hard there, Jorge Hernandez.
Yeah, I don't know if you could get Hafferty there. The handball, and then Malloy on the other side. But does it spark San Antonio? Tap into the energy of the crowd. The clock crests 24 minutes in this opening half. Final match of week 4 in the USL Championship. As there is a whistle. Johnson drew the foul. What'd you see?
Yeah, I mean, you can see he's got a lot of hands there on his back. He trips him up behind in the ankles, and so yeah, you're gonna get called for that one. But you know, one thing to note here is that they're making it really difficult for San Antonio FC to play their game. They want those long balls, direct balls. They want the ball in the air, and every time San Antonio gets possession, they put a body on them. So San Antonio is going to have to make something happen here on the set piece.
The primary player we've seen doing that thus far, the nuisance in a good way defensively, Jermaine Brown, number 23, the defender from Kingston, Jamaica. Is proving to be lead irritant to San Antonio's desires. That ball has a chance! Diving right out in front of him, Tainer has began this match with some offensive desire.
Yeah, 2 of the best looks so far tonight have come from Mitch Tainer. Always going to throw his body into it. Good just connecting with the ball there, having that mindset to go with it. Just couldn't redirect it there at the angle that he wanted. But we've seen this also with Lexington a few times. Set pieces, crosses in, a little bit of ball watching happening there in the box. So if San Antonio keeps at it, they might have a good chance at that.
Hernandez. Not sure if he wanted to go on frame or just test the keeper with Johnson, maybe get a redirect as Johnson galloped over the ball.
San Antonio FC is rushing the ball a little bit, and I think a big part of that is the pace and the tone that Lexington has set out here tonight. It's hurried, it's rushed, they want to go forward. San Antonio typically a little bit more patient there in the attack. They've just not really been able to get solid looks at goal.
Flag is up, but Truni will come out, not even take a chance, as hopefully the crowd on our side of the field was looking alive. That one ripped out, but nothing doing. He's waving to the crowd.
My bad. Well,
So
when in
they'd
doubt,
much rather
kick it
see
out.
that than-
When in doubt,
yes,
kick it out.
A goal for their team, a goal against, excuse me. Ball cycles back to Mitch Tainer. Beautiful chip to Sordo. Sordo will try to play to Nelson Flores. The ball barely finding the floor. Across that sequence, turned over. Outside of the box, working. Sordo. Ball's deflected. Chance there, and yes, redirected. San Antonio and Jorge Hernandez net the first goal of the match.
You can tell Jorge wanted that goal from the very start of the whistle. In the middle of everything, causing problems, trying to sell fouls, committing fouls, but it's him here, his heart at the right time in the right place, running through every single run, all the way to finish the deal here.
It's been a 10 minutes that really picked up action-wise offensively for San Antonio. Katie, go back throughout the entirety of that sequence. There was about 5-6 passes. Ball was barely on the pitch, and Kalov was able to end up with the ball outside of the box, has 2 men breaking towards the box in Emmanuel Johnson and Hernandez, who eventually nets it in the 28th.
Yeah, when you look at San Antonio and wanting to play their style of game, it looks a lot like that. A lot of movement up top, creating diversions. But even then, I would say in that moment of possession, it didn't seem like they really had a handle on it, but all it took was a little bit of heart and pressure, and they were able to slip it past here, Lexington.
Just getting the ball on frame.
Yeah, a goal is a goal. It doesn't have to be a beautiful one.
Well, and the point you made earlier about Carlos Hermosa, and contrast that to what we saw last week of beautiful soccer, lots of shooting, no goal scoring. This week, ugly, but you get a goal.
Yeah, and I think a big part of that is they were doing so well to play out through the middle of the field into the attack.
Epps working through alone, earning his own space with the dribble. Dispossessed just outside of the box, and then maybe a moment of frustration. Marcus Epps. Nice handle on the ball. They got him there.
Epps, known for that handling of the ball, usually does really good just to separate himself from the defender, but in that one gets a little handsy.
Joey Batruni will send it out, and this time not into the seats, but it does go out of bounds as two players up, leading to a San Antonio opportunity.
But Tyler, going back to your point about pretty soccer, San Antonio does a really good job in that middle part of the field, but they just don't get into the right spots that they need to have really clear looks at goal. So really, it's thinking one step ahead as they move forward into the season. That's going to help them the most.
Jockeying around, trying to get the ball. The whistle was late. And befuddled on the pitch, hands on his head. Philip Goodrum. The whistle negates the advantage. And ends the potential of the attack.
Call goes against Lexington because he was behind Reese Buckmaster as they toppled down to the floor. So it's a tough call there, but I'd say a good one from the ref.
Consecutive headers, the second from Sordo. Turns the ball over. Gaynor jumps in front. Epps is fighting with Hernandez, and the whistle will go against the goal scoring Jorge Hernandez.
Lexington has done a really good job building out of pressure. When you look at that matchup they had against Blue City, they struggled a little bit there once they started getting put under pressure, just building out with quality. But they've really improved there in that area, just finding feet to connect with, really getting some quality distributions moving forward.
Who is dictating their style more so on the match right now?
I would say Lexington. I mean, San Antonio is up a goal, but they're not playing their typical pretty style of soccer, and that's because they're a little more reactive. They've been defending quite a bit, and the few times they've had the ball, it has looked rushed or maybe even a little bit unsure.
Malloy to Epps, stepped over. Nothing doing after Zenge leaves it be. Will lead to deep corner kick though. Trying the near post. So to the point that you made about Lexington dictating their adjustments that San Antonio can make, Is there adjustments that Lexington want to make for the remainder of this opening half?
San Antonio just finding a little bit more composure in the attacking third, building out with a little bit more quality. You can see Lexington is sitting back a little bit before going in to defend really high up top, whereas San Antonio has had much more of an attacking mindset. And you've got some really good guys on the bench still.
Sordo looking for Johnson. Semle quick to gather and throw out.
I was going to say, it wouldn't surprise me if San Antonio brought on Perano or Patino, both really good at driving at the back line, something Lexington has struggled with a little bit, as you have that one individual player with a lot of ball handling talent, just containing them. Running at them with speed is where they have struggled in the past.
Epps playing out of the center circle. Good dance. Nice job defensively to chip it out, Barbier. Lloyd on the left side again. Double heads. Great idea by Zengay. Saw his teammate there, but Truni is upset. That one had a chance.
Quite the close call here. If you're Joey Petruni, the ball is redirected and just by a stroke of luck misses the ball.
It was Nick Firmino after the head from Zengay played over from the opposite side. Good linkage from Lexington. Tainer back to his goalkeeper. Give it back. Mitch Tainer. Goal came in the 28th. Jorge Hernandez. Katie, I'm looking at the heat map, and the predominance of the red is down on the San Antonio defensive side of the field, that left side outside of the box and then inside the box as well. So to your point, the numbers and the action supporting what you're seeing with Lexington and what they've been able to do thus far.
Yeah, a lot of it are those long services in, trying to get on the end of them there.
Give and go. Tainer delayed it, but the ball still alive. Petroni thought about playing it. The San Antonio defense once again to the task, but visitors have found some offensive momentum, trying to knock this one up before half. Barbier.
If Nelson Flores hadn't tracked back on that last save, that definitely would have been a goal. Just too many black shirts there in the 5. But it is not over. This half is long from over, and they've got all the momentum going for them right now.
High arcing throw, bouncing, finally ending up on the right foot. Christian Sordo, who clears the zone and allows his team to reposition.
Kendall Burks there with the ball. Familiar name, we know. They know in San Antonio.
It's with SAFC in 2024. Led them in clearances, interceptions, and duels won that season. Came into this match the leader in blocks and clearances for Lexington. 5 in black.
And then, of course, a familiar face for Lexington would be Danny Barbier.
Was out exchanging hellos, daps, and pounds with his former teammates prior to the match. Warm-ups. No friendly business now. Mendes clears the zone momentarily. Lexington resets.
This is where San Antonio needs to take a long, deep breath. They've been on their back heels for quite some time now, maybe 10, 15 minutes or so. They need to settle the ball and find a way to build out with quality.
Did you watch Bad Boys back in the day? Woosa.
Woosa. Woosa. Great reference.
Yeah, San Antonio had a good 10 minutes after that opening. 15 to 20 was disjointed. Really on both sides, nothing doing. San Antonio, though, capitalizes, gets a goal. And it's been Lexington is pushed to the pitch by Michael Maldonado. The yellow card being presented to Maldonado.
Maldonado has done a really great job stepping into the midfield area. Comes over to San Antonio from North Carolina FC. Was top 5 in the league there, 4 assists. He's just done really well to play back and forth with Jorge Hernandez's style of play.
Had a super active match last week. Called his name quite a bit. In this instance, that right arm looped around, ripping Firmino down, earns himself a yellow card.
Lexington looks really confident with the ball.
Been able to link and move forward, just unable to find that finishing touch. Throwing it into Epps, Malloy. Ball bounces right back to his teammate outside of the box. A clear look from straight on. Choosing not to take such, and Epps looking for a teammate. Volleys the ball out of bounds past the back line. Petruni will look for another Woosa.
Unfortunate hit from Mark Epps there, but has just done a really good job as a whole, this Lexington team, just finding ways into the attacking third, possessing, dominating in that way. And again, as I had mentioned, a team that seems really, really confident on the ball. San Antonio moving into this next half, or even in these remaining minutes, they're going to have to find a way to start dictating play, to gain some command of the game if they want to keep this lead. Because right now, it's really not a secure lead.
Pushing the back. The ball bounces around. Hernandez jumps over it a couple times, dancing. Beautiful footwork from Jorge Hernandez. He's clipped down. Nelson Flores will point to circulate the ball back around as Tainer expresses his displeasure with the treatment of Hernandez, who had displayed some of that ability, and then the defense said, we don't like seeing that anymore.
Yeah, he did a really good job there of just pulling in 3 Lexington players. There might have been some chippiness that led to him hitting the ground there, but I think he's just been selling it quite a bit here lately. Ref wasn't having it. Looks a little bit like maybe a foot on top of his.
Tuck-Wusaw moments, both teams taking a full breath here, hitting the bench to get some water and hydrate. Ball played back to Petruni. Good sportsmanship there.
Great sportsmanship.
Earned a double thumbs up from the San Antonio goalkeeper. Back in action, 44 minutes past on the time key. The final piece of the USL Championship Week 4 puzzle. Set the table and see how things will look after just a handful of matches in this young season as teams find themselves, define their identities. As is, San Antonio with a win would jump to the top of the table in the Western Conference and have 10 points. It's Orange County SC that currently has 8. Lexington down in the 8th position at 4. So, Katie, there's a ton at stake here. San Antonio can lead the West with the win, albeit week number 4. But it always feels good to be looking down on everybody else and build momentum to your season.
And that it does. And every single game counts here in the USL Championship. I mean, as you go throughout season, guys get injured. You might have a run of bad luck a couple games in a row, and it may be these first couple of games that really keep you in it by the time season closes out.
Lexington missed the playoffs by 1 point. Last year in their inaugural season, that cut off 8-9 line. So yes, absolutely. Trying to find something to show for their hard work in the first half in this 3 minutes of stoppage. Hernandez looking good. Tried to find Johnson. On the other side as Hernandez fights. Tipped around. Sordo. Great opportunity. Chip forward. Over into the middle. Johnson grappling. Semble collects.
They do a really good job moving into the attacking third, but they really need a quicker trigger there at the top of the 18. I think they're looking for the perfect look at goal. They're just not going to get it with this Lexington team that loves to smother people on defense.
I was watching Sordo. It seemed like that moment, was he going to rip? Got it just outside the box, had some space to decide what to do.
Now, statistically speaking, when San Antonio FC is leading at the half, they are undefeated in 41 straight league matches.
It does bode well for San Antonio. They can take a halftime lead. You have to go back to October of 2021. 36-0-5. They're undefeated in the last 8 USL games when they score first. That goes back to May of 25. Held opponents scoreless through run of play. 270 straight minutes, have only conceded a penalty kick. So while you have made note about the offense not looking as pretty as it may have in times before, the defense is as good as it has been all season long. Can San Antonio get into half with a 1-0 lead, or does Lexington have something to show for their hard work? That corner will end it. San Antonio trying to move atop the Western Conference table. And Dynamite with a lead at half, and the Hernandez goal in the 28th has them hitting the locker rooms up 1-0. Come on back for more at half.
To my younger self, I would say to control what you can control and always give your best effort.
Keep going, and wherever your heart and mind tells you to go because you won't regret it.
You never know who's watching. Yeah, every day, you can't take any day for granted. You have to give everything every single day. So that's what I would say.
Just enjoy the grind, enjoy all the hard work and everything that goes on behind the scenes.
I really think just follow your own path, being your own type of player, and believe in yourself every day. Try to enjoy the journey.
Plan out, God willing, however you need to go. Whatever path you take, just go out and play.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
This spring, stay 3 nights and get a $50 Best Western gift card.
Match day 1, it's the season opener of the USL Championship.
No time like the present for these teams to make a statement and begin the campaign on the right foot.
Kids Day here at Toyota Field. They're enjoying the home team up with a 1-0 advantage. Have more from the studio for you at half, and the second half from Toyota Field after.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
This spring, stay 3 nights and get a $50 Best Western gift card.
Lock in your Spurs 2026-27 ticket memberships presented by RBFCU. It's your ticket to game day.
It is halftime in the USL Championship. We hope you're enjoying your match so far. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with a look at some of the headlines from the week. Youth took center stage for the championship in round 1 of the US Open Cup. Phoenix Rising put 5 teenagers in the lineup and cruised to a 4-0 win over San Ramon FC. 4 of those 5 teenage players are academy products. And how about 16-year-old Tyson Espy? He scored the winning goal in a 1-0 Orange County victory over Colorado Springs. Espy is one of 5 players in the championship that have played matches for U.S. Youth National Team. Well, not to be outdone, we feature a veteran player, Tampa Bay Rowdies forward Russell Cicerone, who scored his 70th career goal in Week 3 against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Cicerone enters Week 4 11th all-time in USL Championship goals, and he's making his way up the all-time list in appearances with 234. Upcoming matches to watch in the championship. Saturday, April 4th, Louisville City hosting Charleston Battery. Saturday, April 18th, Charleston back on CBS SN hosting Tampa Bay Rowdies. And then the Prinks Tires USL Cup on April 25th. Hartford Athletic hosts rival Rhode Island on CBS SN. This is the USL Halftime Update. We're getting closer to the second half. Let's send you back to your match.
Buy a Coyote combo and get a free collectible Spurs cup. Only at Taco Palenque, official fresh mix of the Spurs.
At Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino Hotel, Texas's premier entertainment destination, we love winners. With millions of dollars in jackpots paid, vehicles, cash, and gift giveaways monthly, the excitement never ends. Visit Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino Hotel in Eagle Pass, Texas, and find current promotions at LuckyEagleTexas.com or on social at Lucky Eagle Texas.
A San Antonio shop owner was getting calls from hackers trying to drain her bank account. But Frost was on it. When they couldn't reach her, they drove over to what? To stop the call? What the fraud?
The scammers tried to clean her out.
So Frost handled the scandal.
Yep, and now business is blooming.
Got him.
Got him good.
Your budget's set, but don't you fret, 'cause HEB has price cuts. Get the whole list done and find the dog something fun with HEB's big price cuts. Shopping sure is nice when you don't think twice with HEB's new price cuts.
HEB has cut thousands of prices on things families need, from meals and snacks to dog treats. So look for the price cuts and save.
No store does more for Texas.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Wow. Awesome. Cool.
Sweet. Nice. Hey! I like your dress.
You look pretty.
No, you look pretty.
No, you look pretty.
No, you.
During the Ready, Set, Go sales event, qualified buyers get 2.99% APR financing for 72 months, plus $1,000 subvention cash on a rugged new 2026 Tundra. Offer ends March 31st.
Go from dreaming it to driving it today.
Toyota. Let's go places.
When you donate or shop at Goodwill, you'll help train future truck drivers through our local career training programs. Good job, everyone.
Oh, yeah. People in this industry know all about the f***ers at Davis Law Firm. If we get a case with their name on it, then we know for darn sure we are likely not settling cheap.
Yeah, I'm adjusting to retired life fine. I don't have to go up against the f***ers at Davis Law Firm anymore. Believe me, we tried, but it was hard to lowball those f***ers.
Dealing with insurance companies after a wreck can be a real challenge. If you're hurt, remember the 4-letter word that can help. Want more? Call the Fours.
What do you do when you throw out your back?
Use caution when lifting heavy objects.
How do I eliminate back pain?
I'm not tracking any rain right now.
Back pain.
Got it. Calling back Shane.
Forget it.
Sorry, didn't get that.
High-quality emergency care. Find your nearest location.
Welcome back to Toyota Field in San Antonio, Texas. Halftime, teams getting hydrated after a good back and forth. As San Antonio currently up 1-0. Tyler Denning, Gady Goodman. We talked before the half. San Antonio so good with a lead, and if they can walk away with 3 points, they can be atop the Western Conference.
Yeah, there's going to have to be a lot of changes here at the half, though, for them. Lexington really dictating the game, especially in those last few minutes. They've just really had all that time there on the attacking third. And so San Antonio, they've got to find a way to get their style of play back in and got going at it.
Yeah, we saw a couple good opportunities. Mitch Tainer had hit the crossbar, but it was Jorge Hernandez that struck in the 28th minute for the lone goal of the contest thus far.
Yes, and you can see time after time, lots of patience trying to bring the ball back, but there's that shot you're talking about there from Mitch Tainer. Best shot of the game so far. Unfortunately, did not go into the net for him, but San Antonio just really working to try to find a way in, but every time Lexington putting a body on them. As you can see, a physical matchup both ways. And then here it is. Sordo puts it in, the deflection. San Antonio is able to get on the end of it there with Jorge Hernandez.
Yeah, maybe not the prettiest, but it is effective If you want to put one in the net, it was Hernandez that has so often been the catalyst for San Antonio and their offense. That's on the receiving end. Right place, right time to score the goal. Halftime stats presented by HEB. What stands out to you?
Those 25 final third entries versus Lexington's 14. I think a big chunk of those 14 came in those last 10, 15 minutes of the game. But as you can see, 12 crosses from Lexington to San Antonio 7. They're just doing a really good job of trying to play their direct style of game. It's a style that San Antonio doesn't like. They want to possess. They want to get in behind with short passes, pretty looks at goal. And I think they've just struggled with that style of play.
Yeah, Lexington dominated. You saw the numbers, 57% of possession. If they want to try to tie this ball game up, is it just finding that finishing touch?
Yeah, it's really putting themselves in the right position, one or two passes back. I think sometimes it's a little bit late. San Antonio's defense is able to read it. That's the struggle with the direct style of play, is you can see that ball coming, and San Antonio has a really good back line. But once they get that ball moving there in the attacking third, they just need a little bit of patience, and the chips may fall in their favor.
We talked about different names in the starting lineup for San Antonio, so come on back and we will see. Do they make changes come second half? San Antonio with a 1-0 lead, but 45 to come here on Kids Day, Toyota Field.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Awesome.
I like it. I love it.
During the Ready, Set, Go sales event, qualified lessees can lease a rugged new 2026 Tacoma SR5 for $299 a month for 36 months. Offer ends March 31st.
Go from dreaming it to driving it today.
Toyota, let's go places.
$10 for a large, $10 for any 3 toppings, $10 for your choice of hot crust. Like our new garlic parm hand tossed. Because there's crust, and then there's hut crust. The crust you crave, only $10. Order in the Pizza Hut app.
When you donate or shop at Goodwill, you'll help train future nurses' aides through our local career training programs. Good job, everyone.
San Antonio FC Soccer is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. And the USL on CBS is presented by Best Western Hotels and Resorts, the official hotel partner of the United Soccer League. Gorgeous day in San Antonio, Texas, just on the north side at Toyota Field. Kids Day, lively environment, lone match happening across all of USL Championship level today. The final in week number 4 of this young and long season. San Antonio, we had made mention, going to the half, undefeated, 41 straight league matches when leading at half, 36-0-5, streak dating back to October of 2021. So, Katie, it bodes well for San Antonio when they take a lead into the locker.
It's not something you want to rely completely on, though, isn't that right? But yes, definitely odds in their favor here, Tyler. San Antonio, they're going to have to clean it up. They're going to have to find a little bit more confidence in the way that they possess, finding better seams in and through, better looks at goal. All of that really starts in the build-out, and I think they have struggled so much in that build-out because of the way Lexington has just defended higher up the field. So we'll see how things change here in the second half.
I'm a get a lead and relax type of guy at home. You know, you wake up in the morning, you do your workout, do your hardest thing, and then just chill the rest of the day.
Yeah, right? Hard work's done. Just ride it out. Right?
Doesn't work that way, though, in sports and on the pitch because you have an opponent.
No parking the bus here, Tyler. No parking the bus here.
I guess
the
dishes or, vacuuming, that could be like your opponent.
There you go.
So teams back out. San Antonio on the white. Lexington in the black. If you are just joining us The difference, 28th minute, Jorge Hernandez goal.
Players pausing for a full minute before the first half and here the second half, trying to make a statement for the players' bargaining agreement, wanting higher pay, better benefits.
That we've seen across the USL. So if you're wondering at home, that is what's occurring on the pitch.
It's one way to bring everyone together. I mean, not the best way, but it's one way. And at least everyone that's playing out on that field gets behind it.
USL
Such a
action.
nuanced situation. So
brought to you by Toyota, your local Toyota dealers, and by Methodist Healthcare, offering 10 neighborhood ERs across San Antonio. Is there a difference going north to south, south to north here?
No,
the Toyota field?
Because of the way the sun is setting, it doesn't really affect you much either way here at this field. And the wind direction seems to be going against San Antonio on this one. That's really the only difference, which should really help Lexington in their direct style of play.
Give me two names. Both sides really have stood out to you thus far, making an impression positively on this match.
I'd say Aaron Malloy, Nick Firmino, loving what they're doing there in the middle of the field, dominating presence, finding distributions in. And I would even say some distributions coming from Kendall Burks all the way up to Philip Goodrum. Just good stuff there. And then as for San Antonio FC, it's always going to be Jorge Hernandez stirring the pot, creating that intensity, finding that grit, even though it's not pretty, just to finish the ball there. And then Mitch Tainer, just really a bright spot here for the San Antonio team, having the confidence to take those shots from long out, to throw his body into tackles. And he had that really nice header that he tried to finish in that first half, just went awry at the post. Lexington wanting a handball on that one, almost got it.
Tainer definitely with offensive intentions with the ball that we saw that struck the crossbar, and then that header that was just wide and right. Emmanuel Johnson was brought down to the pitch and brought out by the head referee, Brad Jensen, is a yellow card.
Tactical foul there from Kendall Burks, knowing EJ would have had him beat.
Burks knows what it's like to be on the receiving end of the positive praise from this crowd. Donning a different uniform, and now a yellow card issued in the 47th. The former SAFCer. Hernandez dispossessed. Ball just out in front of the foot of Zenge. Frustrated. Frustration on the Lexington side.
Really both teams are struggling to connect passes out here today in general, but especially in the first few starting minutes of the second half.
San Antonio came in 77.8 success rate on their passes, averaging 347 per 90. For Lexington, 86.2 success rate, 607 per 90. So pretty dramatic difference in the amount of passes. Give you a little bit of insight to styles to how teams play.
Yeah, yeah.
Based on the closing 15 minutes of the first half, which team more important these opening 10 to 15 of the second?
You mean who? Repeat the question.
Obviously, based on the last 15 where we saw Lexington really try to grab reins and did grab reins. Hold on, is working through the defense. This ball will lead to a chance. Petruni knocks it down just enough to take the pace off.
First time that Petruni has really been tested here in this game as well. Just great work breaking through is Lexington. Goodrum following through the shot, but even better save there from Joey Petruni, just making himself really long.
How about the challenge from Suarez, who we see coming in? In that replay, he played the ball and he got there in time. It's the right move, obviously, but now a corner kick coming for Lexington. Okay, back to my question. It was, which team comes out this half, and what do we see, and who's it more important? Does Lexington need to say, this is what's happening, we're going to even this match up, or can San Antonio really wrestle control of it?
Yes, Lexington has got to get back in it as soon as possible. What they don't want are minutes counting down here, especially knowing how stingy San Antonio can be. I think that was one of their closest calls yet.
It's a beautiful rollover on the ball by Jorge to keep in his possession. He's fighting for it there. Maldonado pushing it forward. White jerseys gathering, step over, cross in front. Johnson reached for it, but not close enough.
This is feeling a little bit more like San Antonio's style of soccer. Some really good development down that left wing. Unfortunate miss there from EJ. A little bit tied up, I think, with the defender, not able to get his leg out far enough. As you can see, Nelson getting all the way to that end line, doing a great job just to get that back up at the 5. And maybe San Antonio takes a note out of Nelson's playbook on that one, working to get to the 5, looking for the drop shot, maybe the pass to top of the 18 or the 5 from that point. It's not something that they've really tried up until now, and they had a much closer look at goal. And of course, unfortunate mistake here from Lexington. Something that you just cannot do in this situation.
We'll give San Antonio corner. Charging up and down the pitch area around a couple teammates. Headed down. That ball, turn and burn. A good look for Nelson Flores, but high.
Nelson has done a really good job of being at the right place at the right time. Earned this corner partly because of his work before this, and then just a really great trap and bringing it down, not able to get over it the way he wanted. Source that one over the crossbar.
Brett Jensen didn't like something, chirps the whistle, and the ball will be sent back. Brown with his best box out. Make sure that the ball past the back line, and Senway can decide what to do. Goes right up the heart of the defense, but right through. Does go Tainer. Displeasure on the receiving end. Goodrum.
Just see the dynamics playing out here between the two teams as things begin to get more and more chippy.
Another body to the pitch, hopping over. Olive tried to keep it alive for his team. San Antonio's had the ball down. There's another pass, nearly ended up right on the boot of Sordo. Moving back the other way, a ball forward. Petruni dives and plays it safe.
Really great chance for Lexington there, just a little bit too much pace on that ball, fed through. San Antonio lucky to get away with that one.
Nice pass to find Jorge. Some room to operate. Soto drops into that left side, surveying into the box, stepping over, dancing, pushing in, as does the defense. Through the body, Maldonado will circulate it back. Boy, shouldering Kalev, who chips it off the leg of the Irishman.
Interesting from the referee here not to call this. There was a little bit of a push there from the back. He's going to let it slide, but as you can see, there's clearly been a coaching direction to get that ball to the end line. I think Coach Llamosa knows Lexington struggles when you drive at them one-on-one with the ball. Perano about to come on the pitch, one of those guys who would be ideal for that type of movement forward.
And there is Crinali that we talked about. He's gotten off to such a great start, number 21 in white. As emptying the bench. As Carlos Llamosa, the head coach, has to appreciate the fact that that starting unit got a 1-0 advantage, but now bringing in a slew of fresh legs to try to build on such as San Antonio has begun this second half strong. Maldonado off the head and out of bounds.
Quite the close call.
Streaking forward, wanted the ball. He was calling for it on a go route. Semle saw it. Nothing doing. Lexington, equal numbers moving up. Right idea. Defending of Mitch Tainer. A heads-up play.
You see that veteran talent shine through all the time there with Mitch. Just has a nose for that spatial awareness there in goal.
With the bodies that came on, with the names in the games that you know that they possess, how does that change the complexion or the approach for San Antonio?
We've got three tall guys in the back, Krog, Mitch, and Thiago Suarez. Just a really good sound back line. Barbier taking a break for the remainder of this game, but it feels like San Antonio's back line is still very solid, but with the addition of Perano, I think that's really the game changer there. If you can get it to his feet and if he can carry it at the back line with speed, there's a good chance he'll get a solid look at goal.
Take a look at what happened here.
Piggyback ride from Kendall Burks.
Too much momentum moving forward.
Keem Ward there on the outside right for San Antonio also does a really good job of getting that ball up with a ton of composure. Really great 1-2 touch movements, building out of the back. And as you can see there, it feels like that pace in the possession already having improved. As I say that, ball goes out of bounds.
Ward had a really good match last week. Was involved quite a bit, number 13. In white.
The addition of Arturo Ordóñez changes things a bit there too for Lexington. He's been the typical starter on the back line there for them, making his way back in. Leads the team with 22 clearances going into this game.
For both teams, are they trying to get more offensive, more defensive, or just get fresher?
I think just fresh legs, knowing that they have to manage personnel with all of these games coming up this week. US Open Cup just really kind of throws things for a loop. It's getting into these stages where it's a lot of USL teams playing USL teams, so you want to at least break through there, get a chance to play some MLS sides. It's good for players and club.
Yeah, San Antonio's, to your point, their opponent will be FC Tulsa. It's on April 1st at 7:30. And then for Lexington, they get a familiar foe, the Commonwealth Cup, a.k.a. El Blue Grassico. I love that name. Facing off against Louisville. 3 meetings all time. Louisville has won all 3. That, if you've been down to Bluegrass State, Kentucky, know the rivalry between Lexington and Louisville.
Speaking of Louisville, Ordóñez was there last season. Got a couple of guys on the squad. Very familiar with Louisville.
Ordóñez, number 4 in black. One of these substitutions.
Yeah, you talk about that Open Cup match on April 1st. Then San Antonio has to take on Monterey Bay FC 4 days after that. But I think it's a really good test on the mark of who's going to be quality team. It's looking like a push in the box, but ref is just not having it there.
If anything, he stayed consistent across the course of the match.
Just looking back on it, it's a good service in, but it looks like hands on the back into the box.
It's about as push as a push gets.
Yeah.
Here, and we can see Carlos Llamosa pleading his case and wondering, maybe in that instance, what it was. So a trio of subs for San Antonio. Off the goal scorer, Jorge Hernandez. Off Danny Barbier. Those 2 USL Team of the Week members from last week. Sitting down, Reese Buckmaster on the back line as well. Ward, Crenale, and Pirano, the trio that have entered. Brown and Alvarado, the 2 that left for Lexington. Ade Donakun and Ordóñez, aforementioned, they're 2 subs. Step left, cross. That's off the right paw. Semle doesn't have the clean sheet to show anymore, but a great piece of goalkeeping. Pirano, the sub, getting stopped.
Much better development from San Antonio coming out of the back. Pirano doing a great job just to lose the defenders. Gets a much better look on goal. Semle does a great job just pawing that over the top. But it feels like things are heating up here for San Antonio. Much more San Antonio style of soccer as well.
Maldonado with the corner. Olive has it bounce around. Ward steps in front to intercept the fresh legs. Keem Ward trying to make something pop.
Ward, an absolute firecracker there on the right side.
Love assessing the defender, trying to work the dribble. Back onto the boot of Ward. Ward is pushed down, so yet another white jersey to the ground in the box to no whistle from the official.
Apparently shoves are okay.
My ethos when it comes to officiating in any sport, any level.
As long as it's the same on both sides.
I don't ask for perfection. I just hope for consistency.
You know what? It couldn't be me out there calling those shots, that's for sure.
Always a tough job.
Couldn't pay me to be a ref. Couldn't pay me enough.
And it has been consistent. It's been in line with what we have seen on both sides when there have been hard challenges. Choosing to take a look. Firmino. Nothing doing. I had stumped you with that opening 15-minute question earlier. But now that we've been through it, how has the complexion of the match changed in the second half?
Feels that San Antonio has a little bit more of a handle on the game here so far. Lexington, sometimes that sense of urgency can kind of work against you as you try to force that ball forward. But San Antonio, I think, especially with the addition of some of these guys out here on the field, have just been able to settle things down. Good guys like Keem Ward, just really good first touch that sets up the offense really well. You can see why he dominates there in that right side position.
Katie, you had made mention last week, but is this a much deeper team than San Antonio has had in years past?
I would say definitely so. I mean, they've got some guys on the bench that could start on any squad.
Beautiful service on that. All the way across and just checks it up to leave it at the foot of his teammate. Golov is on the beginning of this sequence, back to Sordo. Ball rotates around to Ward, who chips it up, tries to turn around, and will draw a whistle.
Golov with his head on a swivel did a really great job just to see that the switch was on. Nelson Flores Blanco hanging out there for quite a bit of time and finally just able to see that. But here's this foul. Just taking his feet right out from under him.
Dimitri Eurofei. Be another sub. There's Kalov after that beautiful pass, and it's been a good match for him. We'll sit down. What does Eurofei bring?
He brings a lot of that heartbeat, kind of like Jorge Hernandez, and I'm sure Coach Yomosa probably sees that piece missing from what's out here right now in the squad. Eurofei tends to be one of those guys, handles both sides of the ball, stirs things up. Young with lots of energy and a full gas tank.
Chance to take a look himself. His decision was to look for a teammate as Suarez clears the ball out on a quick run back the other way. I've seen a couple of those, it feels like, Lexington, where they had an opportunity to challenge directly, go at Petruni.
Goodrum has done a really great job of just getting into scoring position, getting on the end of the ball.
A lot of traffic for Petruni, who punches it out. Back where it started. Header goes out of bounds, and the chance of Joey for the San Antonio goalkeeper. Tell me about Vitruni a little bit. We haven't talked much about him, but we know that San Antonio has a long lineage of great goalkeepers across the years, and it seems like they have yet another in Vitruni.
Yeah, absolute quality from start to finish. Didn't get a ton of starts last season. Came right out of college. Richard Sanchez was leading the way. This time he gets the starts. He has been quoted saying he's feeling a lot more comfortable, more confident this season. And actually a San Antonio native, played for the academy here, went to Lee High School, part of that championship team that won state. Went to University of Virginia and then made his way back, working with a 90% save percentage, which is pretty dang good considering he's a couple of games in and has played every minute. You can just see that he's feeling calm, composed, confident. Doesn't seem to be fazed by much.
Doesn't hurt when the defense has been as good as it has as well over the years. We've told you. But bears mentioning again is player down on the pitch in Zenegate. How good San Antonio has been since October of 2021, 36-0-5, 41 straight league matches when leading at half. This is what led us to the stoppage. Undefeated the last 8 USL games when scoring first, and holding opponents scoreless still throughout the entirety of run of play this season. They've only conceded a penalty kick. As the squad and things looking very optimistic in the Alamo City.
Carnali doing a really good job just to deflect that opportunity. Lexington, they're gonna have to find some seams through the ground to make this one work.
See the shots in favor of San Antonio, 9-7. 2 shots to 1 on goal.
Another close call there for San Antonio. I mean, Dado-kun really had a great look there. Just went awry, but again, only a few minutes here back on the field. Give him a little bit of time and might be a little bit sharper there.
Whistle blows as Emmanuel Johnson is down on the pitch and he's clutching at top of his head. Always wanting to be extra cautious with any sort of contact above the shoulders.
I was going to say he's a physical player, looks like headed there behind the head. And they have just been putting bodies on him all afternoon. You can see head coach Carlos Jomosa not happy, had some words there with the ref. I mean, trips inside the box, pushes, and as you can see here, on top of him, not one but 2 guys, and a forehead directly to his. Assuming there's some concussion protocols happening there. Seems to be okay.
Never hurts to be overly cautious.
Especially in this game.
I think the big question, Katie, if I picked up on what you were putting out in the open top of the show when we saw starting lineups, it was given this 5-17, 5 matches, 17 days for both of these clubs, San Antonio specifically, what their approach was with their personnel. How would that affect the way that they are able to execute on the pitch? Talk to that across the entirety of this match in the first half, and with a 1-0 lead, courtesy of the 28th minute goal from Jorge Hernandez, San Antonio trying to register 3 points and move atop the Western Conference 4 matches in. So it may not be as pretty as we have seen matches past, weeks past, but effective.
And it's also necessary because as you move on throughout the season, it's inevitable that there's going to be injuries, and you're going to need these guys to step up when duty calls.
Pirano working. Beautiful left foot will lead to a second. Eurofave comes on, the benefactor of the gorgeous left foot flick to make it 2-0 San Antonio.
A++ work there from San Antonio, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. Putting Pirano in, having him drive at the back line. Look at him turn the jets on. They don't know where he's going to go. They're a little bit stunned. He cuts, flicks. Woo! Dimitri Eurofeev's right
How about
open.
the pass?
Yes, it's that flick. Great work there. And a solid finish
And
under pressure.
Right in tune with what we were talking about. Beautiful soccer, the substitutes, the identity. You were speaking to trying to find ways to win through injuries, win in different ways, and that was a beautiful sequence punctuated by Dimitri Eurofeev with the goal.
We knew going into this match, Lexington struggles with having players carry the ball, driving it at them. Pirano did exactly that. You know that was the instruction there, and he played it to a T. He knew when to release the ball as well. That's another development, an area of growth we've seen from Pirano. He has played with San Antonio FC in the past, and I think in the past would at times hold on to it too long, but this season he's just been really, really on his A game, holding when he needs to, releasing when he needs to. When you have him and Patino up top, it's really good.
It was an absolute dime.
But yeah, and again, Dimitri Eurofeev, we talk about that heartbeat, trying to be infused here with Jorge Hernandez off the field, and he's done exactly that. Just really moves into the spaces at the right time.
Another sub coming on. Charging in for Lexington, Jacob Green. I'd asked you earlier about the depth for this San Antonio squad, but you've watched this team a lot. Felt so many times that if Jorge Hernandez wasn't the one doing it, that it would be offensively a challenge, or you lose your offensive catalyst. But this year with Jorge, in spite of the fact that he scored a goal, he was on the receiving end, he hits the bench and the offense picks up.
Yeah, well, again, you need someone who's going to be that initiator. I think when you look at Eurofeev, he is that guy.
Now they have a couple.
Now they have a couple of options to choose from there, not only in the middle, but up top, too.
This guy, too, Keem Ward, could really make some things pop. Ball back to Trudy, who's misplay, chops it up, and San Antonio will just have to regather their defense on the shaded side.
But I think what is going to make San Antonio such a hard team to deal with is the fact that they are so deep on the bench. Last season, I think there's a little bit of a struggle there. A lot of guys were hurt.
Yeah, injuries was the story of last season. That the common thread for a USL side that historically has been so consistent, always a player in the Western Conference, but season really never able to develop any sort of rhythm. Got a little bit of life, did make the playoffs, but then lose to New Mexico. But injuries will test your depth. But if you can have depth and health, then you can really do something. San Antonio looks like they have some pieces this year. For Lexington, we've seen some of those bright spots, as mentioned, just in their second season of play at the USL Championship level. So putting together their identity over the years, San Antonio has always been known for their hard-nosed, physical style of play, but Carlos Llamosa, and stylistically what he's brought in, you're really seeing the fruits of that come together, and you couple it with the historically good defense and historically excellent goalkeeping, and that's a pretty good gumbo.
Right. The one thing San Antonio FC has been really good at throughout the years is recruiting. I mean, multiple guys showing up on their debut and scoring throughout the recent years. And yes, coaches have changed, but lot of management stays the same, a lot of assistants stay the same, and you know it takes everybody when it comes to the recruiting process. Lexington, though, that last opportunity, not a bad one. As you can see, things starting to gain speed a little bit.
We've had probably 6 or 7 where it's just been that last touch, which that's the most important. Johnson is the one down. Middle of the pitch is open. Petruni having to come out. This is Lexington's best chance, and they're pumped up. Petruni will give his teammate Suarez a shove in the chest to say, hey, thanks for getting my back on that one.
Thiago Suarez, not his first incredible slide tackling save, but this one definitely keeps Lexington off the board. World-class slide tackle.
The net was completely open.
You know that hurts for Lexington, too. Probably didn't see him coming out. Came at an angle from behind, but just did a really good job of not getting any ankles in that one either.
Another sub, Santiago Patino on for San Antonio. Out Emmanuel Johnson after a rough tumble match. He was plenty active, and I'm sure we'll feel the effects of such. That looked like a certain goal that Suarez was able to snuff out.
They've done well to start getting more of those opportunities moving forward, catching San Antonio in the transition moments. It's when San Antonio gets set that they tend to struggle to move forward.
Different approach across this sequence, but still nothing doing. San Antonio trying to clear the box. Malloy dances just outside.
San Antonio struggling with the clearances a little bit in this matchup. Partly Lexington just doing a really good job winning that first and second ball.
So now the chances of San Antonio moving to 42 straight league matches when leading at half, looking pretty good. And after that Suarez save and clear, trying to maintain their run of holding opponents scoreless through run of play here in the 4th match of the USL Championship season. A lot of positives, a lot to highlight.
So San Antonio will definitely be the team to watch here in the West, no doubt. Still plenty of time to go.
There's still plenty of work to do, but the beauty that we have up here in the booth is we can look forward, tell you what's coming. Talked about that U.S. Open Cup match, but let's talk this sequence through first. The ball was ricocheted. Eurofave wanted to add another. But U.S. Open Cup play, FC Tulsa, that on the first, then hitting the road at Monterey Bay FC. That on April 4th. Then April 8th at Orange County SC. So a Cali road swing to begin the month of April. But if you can put a bookend on the opening month of the season, March. You have 4 victories and a draw at FC Tulsa. Not a bad ball club, by the way. That's a pretty good way to start the season. And if you can do it over the remaining 5+, holding opponents scoreless.
They're pretty close here to notching another one with a clean sheet.
There is the aforementioned Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, SAFC, FC Tulsa, next on the schedule, presented by Toyota. April 1st, the standard 7:30 start. SanAntonioFC.com for tickets. They'll be back at home April 11th for USL Championship play.
And again, as mentioned, that FC Tulsa game was not a pretty one. Lots of kicking back and forth. Not great distribution. I think both teams were just working out some of the nerves, trying to really find their identity there in that game. So interesting to see how they adjust moving into that one.
So 5 matches a month in. What are the defining identity pillars for San Antonio that you're seeing?
Well, they have that same grittiness and intensity, that physicality that they're known for, but really it's their movement off the ball that has improved so much, and the way that they just are able to lose the defenders, the talent that they have on the team, a lot of guys with really strong individual talent, and then the way that it all comes together is, I think, what is going to make this team so unique.
Seen some of that come together today. Done a curveball with the starters. What to expect based on what we had seen thus far. And starts out disjointed for San Antonio. Then they cobbled together 10 to 15 minutes of effective in terms of goal scoring. That's where they get the first and the 28th from Jorge Hernandez. Come out good at half, open with solid energy. Subs come in very quick. As the Morano Eurofave link up is pretty of a goal that you will find this year in terms of pass finish. Make things 2-0. Lexington has had their moments. They've had plenty of opportunity. The shots, even at 10 apiece, don't know if that paints the full picture of missed opportunity offensively. Just in that final finishing third for the visitors. Can they get something to show as we enter the 88th?
We'll see. Lexington isn't showing a ton of frustration. They're still bringing that same strong confidence. The possession is still really good. Just tough to break down the San Antonio back line.
In front, Pirano trying to shield off the defense to earn opportunity. Ward keeps the ball, dances around, scoots forward, chips that towards the end line. The effort. Patino trying to keep it in play, cannot quite get there in time.
Some really good stuff across the board there from San Antonio. That whole development started with Christian Sordo, that diving slide tackle just to cut off that passing lane, get that ball up. They moved that ball up really well. I think Akeem was looking for Pirano to make that run. Just a little bit of a miscommunication. There's the handball in question.
Up next for Lexington, Louisville City FC, that on April 1st as well. Part of their U.S. Open run into the second round, both teams. Katie, you had said that's generally where you start to find some of your other USL familiar foes. From there, they go back on road at Colorado Springs. The Switchbacks welcoming them to the altitude on the 4th of April. Then back home against Rhode Island FC. This their true road match to begin their season, first of.
Is able to go to Colorado Springs Switchbacks Stadium last year. Really nice spot. You have a view of the mountains, and the altitude is very real.
I grew up there. Outside of the box, dribbling in, trying to get a look, trying to at least have something to show, but the San Antonio defense showing the pride. I don't know if the altitude's real, because I grew up in it, so I'm used to it. But hey, everybody talks to it. Not when I go back, yes. How about the defense all day, all season long for San Antonio?
Absolutely relentless. And it's not just the back line. I mean, look at how many of those attackers were there in front of that ball and that shot attempt. Midfield just doing a really good job of getting back. Mikey Maldonado there in the mix. That's really what makes a quality team. You can't just rely on the back four all the time. You got to stay connected, and San Antonio does that well. Crowd pleaser and Thiago Suarez, another solid tackle from him. All ball.
Both in play, and
you can see their all ball gets up, tells the crowd to roar a little louder.
Step to your feet. It's giving them plenty reason to cheer. 4 minutes of stoppage. We're already through 2.5. San Antonio trying to move atop the Western Conference with a victory. Girlfave thrown down, but play continuing. Petruni chips it up, keeps it out of the net to keep the scoreless streak alive late.
Petruni is a next level keeper. We've seen his cat-like reflexes on display time and time again. Look at the way he's able to change directions, get just enough on it to deny the goal. For a lot of goalkeepers, that one would have slotted right by.
When to find the ball, seemingly through traffic as well. Two players, two bodies in front of him. Spinning on the bicycle, looking, so still challenging is Lexington, trying to get one behind the San Antonio goal. Keep sliding in, kicking it out, pumped to his feet. Nelson Flores as the San Antonio defense showing some pride.
A lot of slide tackles, a lot of momentum building moments, but here's a big moment for Lexington.
But how they got that goal earlier, how big of a moment this could be were it not for the sliding Suarez save.
There are two different moments in this game where Lexington could have equalized here if it weren't for Joey Petruni and his ability there in net. I think what makes it all the more better is that he is local to San Antonio.
That'll do it. San Antonio gets the victory. Western Conference leaders as they bookend the opening month of the season. What a successful March it has been that man in goal. The defense, they hold opponents scoreless. 42 straight league matches with leading at half. A little bit of it all on display today. Katie, what'd you take away?
It's a team that you can have a lot of confidence in, regardless of who is starting out there. I mean, I think this proved to us today that there's a ton of talent both on the bench and in the typical starting lineup. And what does typical even mean with a team like this when you have so much talent, right? I'm sure that's going to change throughout the weeks as, you know, they take on different teams and require different personnel. So great stuff there from San Antonio. Some bright spots for Lexington, just not firing on all cylinders in the way that they needed to really break down this tough San Antonio defense, but a lot of close calls. Just got to leave it to Joey Perchuni there to deny those two big opportunities that they had, but great matchup nonetheless.
Hernandez got it started in the 28th minute with a goal, and then a beautiful linkage. Eurofave with the finish in the 75th for the two. San Antonio earns 3. They are atop the Western Conference. For Katie Goodman, Tyler Denning, rest of our crew, so long from San Antonio and Toyota Field. San Antonio FC with the dub.